chance and then you blew it.
That is the most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby.
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it.
Live from West St. Paul Studios, it's time for MinneZona Sports Live with DJ Matty C and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back. Yes, episode 278. Oh my goodness. Getting closer and closer to the 300. Yes, we love it. But without further ado, I'm your host, DJ Matty C, a.k.a. Matt Callahan, a.k.a. Matty C, a.k.a. Callie, etc., etc., etc. And all the way in snowy St. Cloud, Minnesota, and in Granite City Studios, Paul Vold, the Shield. What's going on there, Shield?
You know, Mother Nature is one cruel broad here to throw us a real curveball on April Fool's Day. April Fools, you don't get spring, you get more winter. And now, of course, we're supposed to be getting about an inch or two, maybe even 3 from now to the overnight, like we were talking about before the show. It's been snowing for about an hour. Nothing's really sticking to the ground as of yet. Just make those roads nice and slick tomorrow morning. So, yay me, yay world, yay life.
Hashtag, as they say in the business, Voldy, adulting. That's how it is. Adulting. And adulting's fun. And trying to drive on ice, even more fun. April Fools.
Yep.
I had to throw that out there, so.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to do something real quick before we,
we do.
Tell you what we got going on. We know people have been tuning in and are watching the show on their TVs and or cellular devices that that you watch on. So we're gonna screen share because why the heck not, as the Curve Doctor likes to say.
Why not?
Let's you know what, Voldy, I'm feeling the drum roll. Let's just do the drum roll. I'm feeling it. Let's do it if it's there. If I can find it, we have so many sound bites. It's not even funny. It's I should just call it Tapani roll, and it's like just call it a drum roll. That's all I care about. All right, here we go.
That's a type of drum.
Yeah. There we go. There it is. Here, I'll move us out of the way because screen. As of right now, our guy Mikey Ryne is leading the way with 850 points. Okay. But Duke did lose this past weekend, so Mikey is probably most likely out of the running. I know. I'm sorry, Mikey. We didn't mean to do that to you, but at the same time, you picked Duke, and that's just how it goes. But yours truly, is in second, as well as my other bracket. I got Michigan. I got Arizona. I think both teams are very very capable, but as we talked about last week, Hunt's is right behind. Even though Florida lost, he can still get some points, but it probably won't be as much as us or anything like that. So, with that being said, Voldy is still in the running though, and that means that with the UConn win, he's got it. He's got a shot. And Voldy talked about it before. Just need a couple more wins. So it's
couple more dubs.
It's very possible. And Mikey is still kind of in the running a little bit. He got Arizona right here. Unfortunately, Voldy, the Sparty, they go on runs, but then there's always a stopgap with them. You never know when it is. Coom Daddy, he's done. Joe Clements, our guy, he's done as well. Mitch, how is Mitch still in it? I don't know how that got figured out.
I don't know.
He's a Bears fan.
The fact he picked Arizona probably helps him. So
yeah, and then Sorry, Lexi. Sorry, Jared. But I think that's all she wrote for yours, unfortunately. So,
they'll live.
if we do end up, Voldy, if we do end up winning, I think what we should do is pick zoners for the merch and whatnot. As Lucas has said before here too, let's go. That's right, let's go. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
So a lot of things to discuss, especially with the Minnesota with the Minnesota Twins, the Wild, the Wolves have been happening as well. Tonight for Tater Tot Hot Take, we're going to discuss kind of the current state of the Minnesota Wild. This 10-game stretch hasn't been great. I think Billy G's not impressed. He's not very happy, to say the least. So there is that. That's not a great thing to have, but it is what it is. But we'll talk about them. Then the Minnesota Twins. Oh, shocker, guys! Guess what? The Twins are off to a great start, a Twins-like start. April Fools, haha. No, not the case. Very Twins-like start, and who would have thunk, right? Oh, we did. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. No poll ad really related thing to talk about. Just the team performance is basically the main focus here tonight. So we'll discuss that. But Voldy and Zoners, table topics tonight. Yes, check those out. Before the show, I was looking at some of these. Voldy, we got some really good ones tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Like it.
I've been very impressed with how many of these are rolling, and we're just gonna keep it moving with that. So we'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on everything in regards to that, and you guys can answer these too. So feel free to chime in as well. ARA is stacked. Voldy's got a stacked ARA tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights fire their coach. Bring in Torts on his 10th team or 11th, 12th? Do we know? I don't know. We will discuss that as well. OBJ, he is open to returning to the Giants. I feel like I've heard this every single year. He might go back. Or he'll go somewhere else. Or it's crazy. He might go back. I don't know. We'll see. Next one tonight too that we have to discuss. Hard Knocks. Seahawks and Patriots. Both of the Super Bowl teams, obviously the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, but they both played in the Super Bowl, are going to Hard Knocks. We will discuss that. I was really hoping for a Vikings one, but beggars can't be choosers.
Not this year. No,
that's
too much going
not
on
for
right
you.
now.
That's how it is. Beggars can't be choosers. Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026. We'll discuss that as well. A lot of big names that are going in. And to round things off, Tiger Woods stepping away from golf after another car accident. Been dealing with some drug issues as well. We will discuss that as well. So, but then Shield shoutouts. We got some awesome Shield shoutouts tonight, and I got an inkling I know what one of them is, but we're gonna keep it how it is with that. Maybe so not. Maybe not. We'll see. So with that being said, we got to do some Tater Tot Hot Take. It's fresh. It's hot. It's right out of the oven. Let's get it going with some Tater Tot. Hot Take.
Fresh out of the oven, it's Tater Tot Hot Take.
Okay, now that... Hey, there we go. I don't know what happened for a second there, but my command keys aren't working. I might have to reprogram a little bit. But because Ecamm did an update, so I think I'll have to just be clicking the whole time. But that is what it is. We'll make it work. All right. With that being said, let's talk about those Minnesota Wild. The Wild so far, these past few games, and granted, I was at the game where they won in OT, which was a lot of fun, to say the least. Very impressed with the way they played. And the past 10 games haven't been what we were accustomed to seeing in the previous, and it sounds like some people are a little afraid of what could happen because, again, they're probably going to be playing the Dallas Stars, and it's going to be interesting to see if the goaltending can be good. And they've won they're 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's kind of at that point of like, I don't love it, but if that was more of a winning record, I'd feel a little bit better. The Wild lost to the Bruins the other night, I believe 6-3. Not a great outing for your Minnesota Wild. They lost to the Rangers. Like I said, with the Dallas win against Chicago, they lost to Tampa Bay. They had a terrible third period from what I hear because I think they were leading for a little bit, and then it just kind of went down. Gus Bus hasn't played well after that Dallas game. He was great against Dallas, I will say, but after that, 6 goals given up by the Minnesota Wild in those games. Save percentage at 83%. Not something you want to be at this current state. So, my question to you, Voldy, is, are they still in good shape? Is there cause for concern with this team right now, or are we just gonna, go into tomorrow when they play the Canucks? And things are going to be kind of figured out, I assume, because they've had a break from now. Because last game they played was Saturday, they've had a break, and I'm sure Billy G has made it known, like, you guys got to get it going. We got to finish strong. So, right. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Wild, Voldy?
Well, right now, I think we're at a point here of the season. Obviously, the wear and tear out of an 82-game season, plus also the Olympic break on top of it, with a bunch of the guys representing their countries. It's starting to rear its ugly head, and fortunately enough, there hasn't been a whole lot when it comes to, obviously, long-term injuries. The guys that we know that are hurt, and now it's just about hopefully not just treading water, but picking up the wins that they would find easy enough here at this stage of the season. Of course, like you talked about there with the win in overtime, of course, defeating the Florida most recently, losing one against Boston. That one was a little tough spot there, but the Bruins are certainly a team that is kind of scuffling right now. They're looking for obviously that playoff positioning because right now they're sitting at the wild card spot. The Bruins are right now, that first wild card spot. So they're definitely a team that's overachieving this season, but the Wild certainly being third in the division right now. But when you're third in the division, or you're the third best team in the Western Conference and you're only third in the division, speaks to how strong and how deep the Central Division is, obviously, with Colorado and Dallas, who have already clinched their playoff spots right now. They are going to the playoffs now. The Wild certainly do need a little bit of help and could definitely see a couple of ways that if they pick up a win or two and a couple of teams that they need to lose, they could very well clinch a playoff spot by the end of this week. I think also, too, the fact they haven't played since Saturday is also a very big thing. Just rest at this point, and getting that time off the ice is certainly key for them, just at this point of the season, because we're coming down here to the final, I think, 8 games of the season here. We're getting down to single digits, and there'll be playoff hockey before we even know it.
Yes, and I think the notion that you're going to have games where you're not going to play well. And I feel like, if this was panic or patience, I would probably say patience at this point for this team. Mm-hmm. Look, they have the talent. It's just putting it all together and trying to finish this thing strong. And they will. I'd rather have them have the advantage over Dallas. I think they can catch Dallas and then have the home ice advantage, which I think we're hoping for. It's already pretty much set in stone that the Stars, no ifs, ands, or buts, they're making the playoffs. They've already, clinched their spot. The Wild, I'm not sure. They probably would have to win, I don't know, a couple more before they're officially in, I'd assume, Voldy. I don't see them dropping anytime soon. So, so Utah, Nashville, and whatnot are kind of still in that mix. You know, so I don't know. I think this situation with the Wild, you want to try and leap them. Right now they're 6 points behind Dallas. So you know, you win some, and if Dallas drops a couple, their last 10, they're 3-5-2. So they've lost the last 2. So the Wild are kind of getting it at a good point here, but the Canucks, they take on the Canucks tomorrow, and I think this is a game where you have to, okay, let's get back on track. It's a good team to get on back on track against, especially Quinn Hughes playing his former team. This, I feel, has to be them and Gus Bus and net. Gus Bus and net, I think, is key to their success. And Wallstead, he's got to be, you know, good as well. And I feel like Gus Bus is brilliant. I don't know, most of the time, but there are times where he gives up a ton of goals, and it's you know, it's the life of a goalie. You know, you're going to have hot streaks, you're going to have cold streaks. And right now, he's kind of a little bit on a cold streak. So we're hoping that things kind of turn around. You know, and defense has got to help too on some of those as well. So there's hope for this team. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not concerned because this team has fought a lot of adversity, especially the injury bug, like you mentioned, Voldy.
Yeah.
And now, you know, they've gone against Dallas. They have to go into this knowing that this is probably going to be a 7-game series. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I don't like the fact, and I want to ask you this before we get into anything else, but the playoff format sucks. Let's be honest.
Yes.
The playoff format sucks. 1 through 8. I think it's that simple. 1 through 8 and whatnot.
Why do we have to make things so difficult? I don't understand this. Like,
go ahead.
It's literally 1 through 8. There was nothing wrong with it before. Now we got to count in, obviously, the 2 divisions, because right now it would be the Central first place versus the second wild card right now, which slates Colorado against Nashville. Then on the Pacific side, it's Anaheim at the top spot against the wild card number 1, which would be Utah. I mean, can we just go 1 versus 8? And that was fine. There was literally nothing wrong. 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. And there was nothing wrong with that format. Again, we keep trying to reinvent the wheel and we end up with a flat tire. I just don't get the fact that we continue just to screw everything up and try to get everybody a trophy at this point. Well, you can, I mean, we've said it before multiple times, you can polish a turd all you want. At the end of the day, it's still a turd. And I don't understand how the math keeps trying to math. I mean, it used to be as simple as there were 4 divisions and 2 divisions. Now there's division winners, and then you throw in wild cards on top of it. It's just like, well, the wild cards with just the 7 and 8 seed team, and that's how it works, and that's how it should be. I don't understand why we got to keep making this so damn difficult just to get people into the playoffs.
Do you think a lot of this has to do with Gary Bettman? What'd you think, or is it more of kind of the him and his yes men and or people under him? What do you think?
Well, it's probably a combination of that and also kind of being in the ear as well of the other commissioners, Adam Silver, Roger Goodell, too. You throw in those guys, Manfred as well, about, hey, how could we get more people to watch? Well, I guess we could try and get more playoff teams in there, but literally it's still 8 teams and it's a 7-game series. Now you're just throwing in, okay, it's like 3 teams from this division plus a wild card, 3 teams from that division plus a wild card. It's still 1 versus 8, but you would just like it to be straight up and said 1 versus 8. Because I was even looking at the standings too. It's like, okay, what are the potential playoff breakups? I'm like, okay, the Wild are the 3rd best team in the West, and yet they could not make the playoffs. Like, how? Why? What? or something like that, or they could find a way to get a worse record out of it. But like, they're the third best team in the division, and also their division is also the third best. He's the third best team in the Western Conference. I just don't understand how we continue to make this look even worse, because right now, I think with the Wild, and I got to pull up the standings on this, if they were the 3 seed coming into the playoffs, they would play the 6th seed, which would be 4 or 5. They'd play Winnipeg. That'd be a great matchup. Are you kidding me? That'd be fantastic if it was traditional 1 versus 8. Hang on, I had that broken all wrong here. Let me just get that straightened out here.
Yep,
if they were the 3 seed, they'd play Utah. That would even be a great matchup. Utah's a great young team. They would be exciting. They've got some Minnesota connections on that squad as well. It'd be fun to see have those guys come to town. Absolutely. But no, we got to make things more and more difficult for somehow the second best team in the West to play the third best team in the West in the first round. I just don't understand. That should be at least a Western Conference Finals matchup, Dallas and Minnesota.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't know what it's going to take to get this to be fixed, but I just feel like the only way to is to really pressure the NHL to fix it, because it's the dumbest thing ever, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and the reasoning behind it even so is ridiculous. So, they got Vancouver. They're at Ottawa after that. Then they're at Detroit. They play at home against Seattle. Then they play Dallas. So another preview game at Dallas this time. So that's going to be a great matchup. Nashville, at St. Louis, always a tough one. And then they end things off at home against the Anaheim Ducks. I'm looking at this stretch and I'm saying, okay, win against Vancouver. That's probably a given. Okay. Ottawa's probably a win. Detroit, that's going to be tough. They've got some good young guys, to say the least. Yeah. So they're going to play hard.
It's good toss up there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put an L there, but it might even be a shootout, or a win in OT. Who knows? Seattle, that's probably a win. Dallas, I could see them trying to get back at the Wild here after that OT loss. So I'd probably give that now. Nashville, always a tough place for them to play. I'm going to give them a win there. I'll give them a win against St. Louis. I'll give them a win against Anaheim. I think that's fair. I don't know. I think they'll play a lot better. Voldy, what do you got?
I mean, the really tough ones here as we get down the stretch here. I mean, Dallas, Anaheim as well. I mean, they're a complete surprise this
True,
season.
yeah.
The guys that they picked up, young guys, plus some guys that were cast-offs from other teams that are still very productive players. Mikhail Granlund is now playing for Anaheim, too. Nashville's always a tough place. Seattle's kind of a black hole when it comes to whether wins or losses accumulate. Yeah, like you mentioned, too, with Detroit, could be a 50-50 there. I mean, I could see, let's see, how many games left? There's 3, there's 6, there's 8 games left. 8 games left. If they could go, I want to say 5-3. If they go like 5-2-1 or like 4-2-2 or something like that, just get points is kind of the big thing. I would be okay with that. There's some tough games in there. If you drop to Dallas, that kind of hurts a little bit. St. Louis is always a tough one. They're a pesky team, even though they're kind of looking on the backside of their season too. Anaheim as well. You get to those last couple of games of the regular season, I'm sure they're going to be resting some guys or getting set up here. Of course, a lot of guys that are just finishing up their college season are joining the NHL squads as well. It'll be interesting to see how this back half of the schedule really works out here, at least for these last 8 games. And just looking at it, too, I mean, you go to Dallas, you go to Nashville, then you go to St. Louis before finishing up the season. A lot of afternoon games, which is really nice at this point of the season, too. A couple of nooners. You throw in a 4 o'clock matchup at Nashville, too.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to hit Broadway after the game. Also done that before. That was a nightmare, but also a blessing in disguise. Then you throw in a couple of night games to close out the regular season, too. Should be interesting. But yeah, you go like 4-2-2 or 5-2-1.
We'll take it.
I'd be happy with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll take it. So, they play tomorrow at home at Grand Casino Arena, even though it should be the XL Energy Center. But,
G-Spot, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
The Chino.
Yes, that's right. At the Nino Pacino. Al Pacino. Okay, I'm done. All right, let's cha-ching. So let's talk about those Twins, huh? Those Twins have been playing really well. I feel like wearing this Twin Cities Connect hat or whatever you want to call it is just bringing all this good luck and positivity to this squad. They have one win. They had one win, but they lost the series and everything like that. But you know what? There's a whole bunch of positivity with this squad. There's so many things that you can like about this squad and whatnot. And I give you April Fools. Goodbye. Let's put on that MinneZona.
Hey.
MinneZona 5-year anniversary hat. I threw that hat just kind of for the April Fools thing. So, but I do like that hat. I will say. I mean, I might have thrown that hat, but I do like the hat. I will say.
The City Connect jerseys, I was skeptical at first, but now you're a couple years removed for it. Minus the blue pants. I feel like they should have with the blue pants.
Yeah.
I like the City Connect jerseys for sure.
Yeah, they've grown on.
I like that logo. I've got the same kind of hat as well. Mine's just a stadium blue. That's kind of like a khaki color around the sides, and I got the batting practice one, which is yellow too. Big fan of it. I like it.
Yeah, and it's not because I don't like the hat. It's just I don't like our team. Anyway, let's quick take a look here. The Minnesota Twins are playing right now. Oh. How about this? They're down 3-0. 3-0 against the Kansas City Royals. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? You know what? Just for the laughs and whatnot, let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, it's not. It's the mid. They're in the third inning. And let's see who's even pitching. I don't even know who's pitching. We have one hit. Austin Martin, so shout out to him. He's got the only hit for the squad.
All we got is one goddamn hit. You can't say goddamn on the air. It's okay. Nobody's listening anyway.
As it turns out,
apparently. Okay, this is kind of. What is this going on?
Whether it's Tater Tot Hot Dish.
Hey, that's copyright infringement. You can't do that. So yeah, the Twins only have one hit. You look at the Royals here. Joe Ryan's pitching? What the hell? Joe Ryan's pitching. Was there a solo shot he gave up? Let's take a look.
It's all base hits.
They're all base hits. You're right. They're all base hits. So I was just about to say some good stuff about Joe Ryan because Joe Ryan did play well in his first outing. The first game they played, he played well. But guess what? The bats let him down. The Twins only managed one run in that game, which is sad in itself. It's a Twins-like start. We're going to call it what it is, a Twins-like start, like I said here in the lower third. Look, we expected this. We know what the history of this team is, right? We know that they don't, no matter who is manager or what players they have, they're going to suck at the beginning of the season. Not to say that, okay, maybe they might win a couple games here. They might go on a win streak. I don't know. With this squad, I don't think anything might positive come out of this because, look, we go back to the offseason and the lack of, spending anything, to be quite honest. Josh Bell is probably the only guy that you really got. And he's not even doing much right now. So a Twins-like start, Zoners and Voldy. This doesn't surprise any of us. It doesn't surprise any of us. Right now we're looking at a team that's just probably trying to fight in the division to not get last, but it's looking like they probably will based on what we're seeing, especially right now. Good Lord. So they had a 3-run second inning. So Not a great start. But, Voldy, what are your thoughts here on the start of the season for the Minnesota Twins? What do you got?
You know, it's funny how we look at how this season has started, that the Minnesota Twins have as many wins as the Granite City Lumberjacks have losses in the last week. That's right. 1 win for the Twins to 1 loss for the Granite City Lumberjacks, which is actually 1 week ago from tonight. They're up 1-0 through 2 periods and then ultimately fell 5-2. But that's okay. Ultimately ended up finishing the season just fine. Foreshadowing on that later. I look at here just the numbers. We're looking at the numbers here, and it is pitiful to see that our leading hitter hitting a 250 right now, and it is Byron Buxton leading the team at a 250 average. 4 hits, just 4 hits through 4 games now at this point. You've got Royce Lewis with a couple of home runs. You've got 3 RBIs total to be our leader right now, and it's Gray and Royce Lewis. Those are our RBI leaders. That's bad, and I just see the revolving door that we do have here with just trying to find the right combination of guys. I mean, you expect this out of Byron Buxton. You expect him to be, of course, the leader when it comes to hitting and everything, but still just trying to find the right combination, and guys are just running themselves into outs here, it feels like. I mean, we just cannot settle on a consistent enough lineup with, strictly the infield. I don't know what it has been the last, probably since the Bomba squad, if not further back. We cannot put a consistent enough infield together from the start of the season to the end of the season, or at least know, 90% of the time who's going to be playing first, second, third, and shortstop. We don't know from the start of the season to the end of the season who that's going to be. I mean,
Jake Cave?
You've got Cody. Jake Cave could certainly probably play at that point as well. But, I mean, you look at 2 second base revolving door with Keyshaw. You have Cody Clemens, Brooks Lee. You've got Royce Lewis at third base. Don't even get me started at shortstop. It could be anybody at this point, too. Josh Bell over at first, he's going to be there. I mean, there's just so many guys and just not enough. I mean, there's too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. Just got canceled for saying that on top of it. There's too many chefs in this kitchen. Nobody wants to step up to actually make the dish, as opposed to keep pointing fingers like, well, I'm getting the ingredients. Well, I'm actually cutting the vegetables and all that. At the end of the day, this is crazy. It's just stupid to see how we're 4 games in. We only got 1 win, and we've got some pitchers that are pitching their tails off right now. Of course, give it up 3 runs from Joe Ryne to start off tonight against a good Kansas City squad. I'll be the one to admit they've got a really good young core in KC too. But especially that performance that he did in his first start of the year, I was very happy to see how that worked. And well, sadly, the Twins did not reciprocate as usual. So we're already off to a rough start here, and it's going to be a very long season.
A couple things. I'll go with the positive here because I feel like this needs to be talked about. And I know, and again, look, I know I'm negative on the we're negative on the team. But at the same time, too, we want to give some good with this. The Twins did win a game against the Orioles, which is something that I feel needs to be addressed, especially Shelty's first win as manager. I saw the after the game, Buxton gave him the game ball, and he showed some emotion, it meant a lot to him, and I feel like that is something that we want to see. I want success for Derek Shelton. I really do, because I've kind of looked at some of how he's dealt with this thing and how it went in Pittsburgh, and it didn't go well. We know that. And has there been some questionable decisions? Sure. Right now, Royce Lewis is batting first. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't understand it. But I know some people have mentioned that Shelty is kind of like Rocco in some ways. That might be true. But I also think we got to give the guy a chance a little bit just to kind of show us what he's all about. And if it is the same, then he's probably not going to last long, unfortunately. But I just want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt to put the narrative out there that it's not all on him. And I believe that, Baldelli was just a yes man for the pole ads and whatnot, and Falvey. And now he's in a position to where the pole ads are kind of like maybe staving off just a little bit, but they're still, they're still got their hands everywhere on everything. But, Derek Shelton knows we got to win the fans back, like I said before last week. So, I just wanted to bring that up. So shouts out, I'm going to give claps out to Derek Shelton. Very happy for you. Let's get a couple more wins here. Let's kind of build off this. Let's see where this goes. I know I'm not optimistic or anything like that, but you know what? I want to see some positivity a little bit because we've seen a lot of negativity. And again, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. Rightfully so. People throw that out there. But let's move back to the negative here. Some people have questioned his decisions. The Royce Lewis thing. Have the Twins kind of staved off the Royce Lewis hype train? He got taken out of one of the games or someone pinch hit for him, and people were kind of shocked. They're like, well, Royce is one of your best players. Why? What's the case for that? So I want your thoughts on that decision, and then the decision to have Clemens lead off, and then Royce Lewis at 7. I mean, have they lost a little faith in Royce Lewis? What do you think?
I think right now, specifically talking about the batting order, I feel like this is one of those situations, could be one of the two. One being that he's still kind of tinkering with the lineup. You get maybe some guys that can put the bat on the ball at the top of the order a little bit. And, maybe try to set up something here for obviously the third guy, the fourth guy, fifth guy in the lineup as well. But as you get further down, then it's just like, okay, well, maybe they'll start seeing more pitches, getting more strikes, more fastballs as well. So that way you can bring that power in there and just kind of get a confidence going as well for Lewis down at the 7th spot, or just kind of be like that, second time around, at least get to like that second, third, that second 3-hole hitter, if you will, down at that 7th spot. I feel like that would be kind of the logic there. And the second part could be, or the second situation could be, maybe he's just trying to say like, okay, you're supposed to be this big, you're supposed to be this next coming for the Twins, of course, battling through injuries and all that. And you've had a couple of decent seasons. Prove it. I have no loyalty towards you. I am the guy they brought in for the guy that had belief in you the first go around. Now you need to prove to me that you are as good of a player and hitter as everybody is just walking around and boasting about. So come out here and prove it. And so far for Royce Lewis, it's been pretty decent. He's 2 for 12, 2 home runs, which I cannot believe that his only 2 hits have been home runs at this point to start the season, and he's leading the team there. But hopefully this is the start of something that can really build off of as we get further along. But I can understand that whole situation with the lineup. Now, for the whole Royce Lewis hype train, I feel like now, of course, you throw in the injuries, him moving around positionally as well from the infield, from shortstop, infield at third base as well. Of course, that failed experiment, they had him in center field in AAA, and then that ultimately led to his injury down there, setting him back another season. I feel like now it's not so much that they're backing off of Royce Lewis. It's just like, okay, well, now we're year 4, year 5, him with the big ball club, and it's time to see our return on investment. I feel like this is going to be a make it or lose it type season here for Royce Lewis, because if he has a good year, I feel like they're going to be set up pretty well for the next few seasons. But if he has a down year, or heaven forbid, knock on wood, that he gets hurt again and is out for a significant amount of time, Twins are going to be like, all right, it's time to cut bait here and maybe move on from Royce Lewis.
Well, I think that's something to keep an eye on. But like you just said, too, he's got 2 home runs. He's got the most home runs on your team right now. So, I mean, is that the strategy that he's going with? I'm not sure. But I'm not willing to go, and blame Shelton for it because it's like you said, messing around with the lineup, seeing what you have. Yeah. Let's look over to the pitching side here for a second. Joe Ryan, take the 3 runs that he's already given up tonight out of the equation here. But
4-0 Kansas City.
Oh, never mind. 4-0 Kansas City. This is going fantastic. Yeah. Just great. Yeah. April Fools. No, it's not. The interesting part of this, let's go to Simeon Woods Richardson. He's probably their second best pitcher right now. Or no, excuse me, Taj Bradley is. Bradley's been really good, actually. He has 9 strikeouts already, which is really good. I mean, that's not bad. We'll take that from Taj Bradley. But again, my good friend Bailey Ober, ERA 6.75, giving up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, only struck out 1 batter. You see, this is what I'm talking about, is that they think that they can revive these pitchers' career and they can just turn things around. That's not how this works. He doesn't necessarily have I don't think he has anything left. The guy just cannot stay healthy, and he is inconsistent. Mick Abel, he started for the Twins. He gave up 8 hits, 5 earned runs. Again, he's a young guy, still kind of trying to figure it out, but it's not a good start. This pitching staff is a liability, and I think it is an absolute disgrace when Tom Pohlad said that they were going to get they made offers for Valdez. They tried to get him and everything. That, my friend, is a bunch of BS to think. And a slap in the face to Twins fans, for one, to say something like that. Because you're looking at this pitching staff right now, and Voldy, you just said it. The Twins are down 4-0. 4-0 right now. So you got to sit back and think to yourself, where's the pitching that they promised? Excuse me, hold on. Pitching! Where is it? Tom Pohlad, what are we doing here? You didn't add anybody. You didn't do anything to help better the organization. Like Jeremy Zoll, what are you actually doing? I mean, it's like, are you even doing your job? We don't know. I don't want to get off topic with this, but again, they don't have anything. They don't have anything that you can be excited about. And probably by the time I said this, Voldy, there was a Twins ad that popped up, I would assume.
Of course.
We can't get away from it. I mean, it's just going to be there, and you're just going to sit back and be like, you're not going to guilt trip me to go to these games. You're not, because I know what I'm going to see. And right now, we're seeing enough. So, they have to go into this homestand that they will have. Well, if the weather lets them, let's be honest. The weather right now, who knows if they're going to even get the home opener in on Friday. Yikes. But they might have to move some things around. But you have to go into that game, that home opener, whenever you play it. And you have to try and have that game be either competitive or win the damn game. If you lose that game and you lose by let's just say 4 runs, then that says enough about what to expect the rest of the way. And that's the sad part about the situation. So we'll keep an eye on everything with the Twins. Obviously, it's probably not going to be positive, but we threw some negative in there as well. They are down, like you said, Voldy. I believe it's still the same score, right? 4-0. Yep, that's what I got at least. So we'll just keep an eye and see what's going on here. Oh, the Twins are up now, so top of the 4th. Only 1 hit still in this game. Who's N. Cameron? Is he a good pitcher, Voldy? Well, he's playing well. I'll say that. For
I think he's the
Royals.
for Kansas City there. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, anywho, Ryan Jeffers up, so might be a strikeout. We'll see.
Most likely.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. Just kidding. Actually, I do. So that'll do it for Tater Tot Hot Take this time around. Godspeed. Godspeed to the Twins on Friday. If you're going to the game, enjoy it. You're going to have cheap food, a cheap product out on the field. I'll say that too. So, yeah, it might be a bad one.
I just imagine the opener being like the opener in Major League, where it's just like, and here come your Cleveland Indians. Yay.
Crickets.
Very subdued.
Crickets.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, and then, just think about it. Like, if there's going to be people that are going to the game and they're wearing black, it's in protest of the poll ads. People have, established their stance, and they're going to try to wear black because they won't let in signs saying defund the poll ads. Oh man, that's so bad. Like I'm sure someone is going to try that. And to be honest, they shouldn't be thrown out at all because they don't deserve to be thrown out for the BS that they've been trolling out these past few years. But I'm very curious to see even if they play on Friday, how many people are at that.
Yeah.
You might think weather, and yeah, it probably is weather. At the same time, if it's the home opener, I think some people, if the Twins were at least a little bit competent, there'd be a lot more people. Just saying. Yeah, just saying. All right, anywho, let's move on to table topics. It's been a while since we've done table topics.
Yes,
table topics. We got some good ones tonight. Little mix of everything, to be honest. Twins,
awesome.
Wild, Vikings. So a lot to be said for table topics. So I say we head down to the table and do some table topics.
The tables have been set. It's time for MinneZona's Table Topics.
Good Lord. Okay, there we are. We are back ready to roll. Here's the deal. We got some table topics we're going to get to tonight. We have a great mix of things like Voldy and I have put out here. So let's get you that lower third, and let's start her off. So feel free to join in as well. I'll give you some time to either think about it or hop on the Google machine and Google it. Or AI, Gemini, whatever, ChatGPT, I don't care, whatever you want to use. The first one out tonight, let's start with the Timberwolves. This one is, somewhat a little bit recent, even for us, a little bit here, Voldy. And this involves a favorite of ours, a MinneZona favorite, who beat out Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio, yes, Cole Munson's favorite basketball player of all time. Who beat out Ricky Rubio for the 2012 Rookie of the Year award. So this was back in 2012. So you might have to think back a little bit here. It is a player that is, I will say, that is currently in the NBA. He is out with an injury, I will say, as well, just to give people some idea as well, and Voldy for that instance. So think of a player that is currently active, that is not playing though right now. So there's a couple of guys that I think are in the mix here. So I'm sure Voldy, the gears are turning a little bit for you. So one last time, who beat out Ricky Rubio for the 2012 Rookie of the Year award? So, Voldy, do you have anybody in mind? What do you got?
Out with an injury, man, this has got to be an old guy too, because now what we're talking 2012 to now, 13, 14 seasons now, so it's definitely not KD. That's the only guy I can think of at this point. I can't think of him off the top of my head, and it's gonna bug me. And
that's all right. I'll give you another hint. I'll give you another hint. Let's if the stupid thing will let me get back to our two. There we go. Hi. God, it's been a struggle today. This new eCam update's throwing me off. He is a point guard. Let's leave it like that. He's a point guard. This guy's a point guard.
Point guard. Okay.
Not currently playing right now. He's out due to injury.
Playing. Okay.
We have talked about him on the show, I will say.
Yeah. The only name that comes to mind, and I feel like he's been in the league longer than 2012. My only guess is going to be because the point guard. It's going to be Chris Paul. And I feel like that's not right. Yeah.
No, but you know what? I'll give it to you because when I say this, you're going to be like, dang it, I should have known this. Okay. Kyrie Irving.
Wow. Even on a team? I was just thinking about that the other day. Is Kyrie even playing right now?
He is with the Mavs. Yeah, he's with the Mavs. Right. And then because he tore his ACL. Yeah, and things just kind of went south. And he's still recovering, and he probably won't be back till probably next year. Yeah. So
what a guy. Too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kyrie Irving, that's a guy that we know all too well, for good and for bad. There's been a little bit of both. All right, let's go to those Minnesota Twins. Let's see if you know this one.
All right.
What Twins pitcher missed all of 2007 just a year after racking up 12 wins and going to the All-Star game as a rookie in 2006. So, you got to think of a Twins pitcher that was back in, or was lost in the 2007 season. And he went to the All-Star game as a rookie in 2006.
Wow.
And that season was very good, to be quite honest. But I can't say any more past that because I don't want to make it easy for you. But
okay, I do have one question though, maybe as a helpful hint. Was this guy primarily a starter or a reliever?
Ooh, no, that's a great question. He is a starter.
Okay, that takes my one guess off the books then.
Okay. So
he missed all of 2007, correct?
Correct, he did, and he racked up 12 wins, and he went to the All-Star game as a rookie in 2006.
2006. That was that Pittsburgh or Detroit for that All-Star game?
Ooh, that's a great question.
One of those two was right around there. I think one was 06 and one was because 07 I think was Houston.
It might have been.
Yeah, because I think it was like 05, 06 was one of the two. Boy, that's back a while though.
It's back a while. But like I do remember this. I do remember.
There's like Nick Blackburn, Kevin Slowey, Scott Baker.
Let me give you another hint.
Okay.
He was a lefty.
Lefty, okay.
Yep.
Blackburn was a righty. Slowey was a righty too.
It's not Johan. I'll say that.
Definitely not Johan. No. He would have been too healthy, and he was definitely gone by then too, or at least that was the hope.
Yeah.
Oh, man, am I gonna go 0 for 2 here? Lefty, I can.
I'll add that. Okay, one last hint. I'll give you one last hint.
One last
just
hint.
To help
Okay,
out.
It was lefty. Yep.
This guy used to play for the San Francisco Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Go ahead.
Well, the Giants part, though, I forgot. Well, maybe I forgot it. The only one I could think of is Francisco Liriano.
Yeah, it is Francisco Liriano. Yes,
Right.
When
he came over in the AJ Przinsky trade.
He did. Yes, he did. And the Twins, we thought at the time caught a gem because you not only had Johan, but you had Francisco Liriano with that squad, and they were good. Probably one of the last times they were good for for a while. No, I'm just kidding. They had a couple of good seasons after that. Don't get me wrong.
They did.
But he was not the same after the Tommy John. He struggled. He had maybe a couple good games, but he was not the same guy, unfortunately.
He had a no-hitter after
he
walking
did. He did.
Guys,
That's right. That's right.
He had like 8 walks in that no-hitter. So
that's right. Yeah, it is a damn shame. I just feel bad because he was he's so good that one season too, and now we're just like, this is an absolute steal, and it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately. But here we are. So the next one that I have, we're gonna go with the Wolves here, okay?
all right,
In 2004, so KG days, what team did the Timberwolves beat to earn the first playoff series win in franchise history? So that season that they went, they finally beat a team that that I feel like I'll give you a hint. It hasn't had the same success when they've played this team.
Okay. All right.
So
when playing against this team, or like the team that they played against has been crappy since.
Let me clarify. The team that they play, this team hasn't had success against the Wolves in the playoffs, is what I'm saying. Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay.
Against the Wolves. So this one is, and this one might be a little tough, but obviously Western Conference, we all know that. But in 2004, what team did the Timberwolves beat to earn the first playoff series win in franchise history?
Good year, 2004. Oh boy.
Yep.
Haven't had the same success since.
It's a team that's somewhat close by. Somewhat close by.
Okay.
Western Conference foe. Or you know what? In the division. They're in the division. Yes.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
So,
okay.
Do you have a guess?
I'm gonna say Denver.
Hey!
Oh wow!
The Denver
Completely
Nuggets. Yes,
pulled
the
that out of my
Wolves
hat.
beat Denver. Wow. That was with Carmelo Anthony too, and that was, I think, it was the second season, first season. So they beat. They actually, I don't know if they swept them, but they did. I think they won in Wolves in 5. Wolves in 5. Let's go. So I think you are correct, Voldy. They did take on Denver. So. All right, let's go to the ice here, Voldy. Let's do a Minnesota Wild one. So this one is kind of around the same time frame here. Wait, no. Same time frame as the Liriano deal.
Yeah.
So this Minnesota Wild center announced his retirement from the NHL on December 1st, 2007. And he was, at the time, the Minnesota Wild's franchise leader in games played. So, this former Minnesota Wild center announced his retirement from the NHL on December 1st, 2007, as the Minnesota Wild's franchise leader in games played. So, I'll give people to take a sec here.
All the times I could use a phone a friend, this would
Yeah, phone a friend. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if we did that. If we had
it would
somebody
be
just
cool.
call
Just call Jimbo really quick. He'd be
Oh,
able to knock
Jimbo
this one
probably.
out.
Yeah, Jimbo probably know.
Yeah. 2007 games played at center. Oh boy, that was a long time.
This guy is. Let me give you a hint too. This guy is a current broadcaster for the Wild.
Okay. I think I got it.
Okay, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Wes Walls.
Hey! Yes, Wes Walls. He retired on December 1st, 2007.
37.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. So Wes Walls still doing some awesome stuff with the Wild, broadcasting, holding a lot of camps here in Minnesota. So he's been very active, been around and whatnot. So shouts out to him as well. So 2007. That's God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was a really long time ago, to say the least. I mean, we're getting old. We're getting old. So let's go to the Gophers here. Last one. Let's go to the Gophers.
Last one. Here we go. Okay.
So the Rodents, and this is football.
Okay.
What university of Minnesota tight end earned the 2006 John Mackey Award? And that award is as college football's best tight end. So there are a few tight ends to consider.
There are a few.
There are a few tight ends to consider for this. So
Okay, what year was this again?
2006.
2006. Oh boy. Okay.
God, we're all in this. All the ones have been in this era.
Good time frame.
Yeah.
Solid time frame.
Yeah, it is. It is a solid time frame. So I'll let you think, and then I'll give it out, and then you can give your thought here. What U of M tight end earned the 2006 John Mackey Award as college football's best tight end? Was this might have been a Decker year, wouldn't it have been, Voldy? I think Decker was.
I think it would have been freshman year. I think.
Freshman,
maybe,
I
right?
think that's probably more close to that.
Like his very first year. Yeah.
Right. So, what tight end? What do you got?
My one guess, and I can't quite remember if he was in the league already or not, but I'm going to say Ben Utek.
Ben Utek, you say? Well,
yeah.
Let's see if you are correct, if this will let me do this. And unfortunately, no, but that's a good guess. I mean, I got to give you some credit. That is a good guess.
I think he was in the league already there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, he was with the Colts, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a hint. The NFL team this guy played for, and I believe he was on the Super Bowl team, was with the Steelers. So the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What's his name? Matt Spaeth.
Yes!
That was
Great
the
guess.
name. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I was just like, nah, it's got to be Utah, Matt. Freaking Spaeth.
Well, that's a really good guess, though, with the Utah. I mean, that's
Minnesota's had some sneaky tight ends come out a few times. Spaeth, Utek, Max Williams.
That was my next one.
Just a random first round.
Brevin Spanford. I don't know if you consider
Spanford.
Yeah, I mean, I guess tight end, fullback, whatever. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, he's a tight end. Played
right.
for Cowboys. St. Cloud Tech grad.
Callerup as well, because he's with the Seahawks,
Seattle.
right? And then
Super Bowl champion. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I do. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing somebody though. God, who would be the other ones?
O'Keefe.
Ah, yes,
Tampa.
yes. And I'm thinking of another guy, and I just, man. Oh, well, it'll come to me. We'll during the show here, we'll just see how it all goes, and I'll just be like, oh, it's so and so, and then we'll just remember from there. So we'll think about it. But that's gonna do it for table topics this go around. A lot of good table topics this go around. It was a lot of fun. Some of some of them were kind of stumped you. Some of them didn't. So there's some.
A lot of them stumped me. Holy
yeah, yeah. But hey, you know what? You got to take them while you can, and it was a very good attempt. So hopefully that was enjoyable for all of you as well. And yeah, ARA, let's talk about it. What do we got? We got the Vegas Golden Knights. They fired their head coach, Cassidy, and hire Torts on his 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th NHL team. I don't know. We'll discuss that. OBJ possibly returning to the Giants. It's been speculated for how many years now and might happen again. We'll see. So the next one, Hard Knocks. The Seahawks and the Patriots, Voldy's Patriots, will be on Hard Knocks this go-around. Will be a very interesting one. They got probably a couple cast of characters you could follow. Darnold would be interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes with him. Not saying that's a bad thing. I am curious. Let's see. Is this one going to pop up for me? I don't know what's going on. There it is. The Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026. We will discuss that one as well. A lot of big names in that. And then, to round things off, Tiger Woods stepping away from golf after that accident he had. There's been some drug issues as well. We will discuss that situation as well. So, without further ado, let's get it going. What's up? Absurd or approved?
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Absurd or Approved.
But yes, we're still even discussing another tight end, Marquise Gray, another guy that I think he transitioned to tight end, right? Or no, wasn't it? Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah, well, he was quarterback, and then that's right. And God, he was good though.
Seeing here, Tony Carter, he was a fullback.
Yeah. God, there's one more that I feel like I'm missing, and it's bugging me. So we'll keep
John Hosey, 2011.
Okay.
I don't
know. We'll keep thinking of it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So, ARA. So why don't you rattle them off for us, Voldy?
Well, we start in the world of the NHL. Of course, in the hunt for a playoff spot, the Vegas Golden Knights, just a couple seasons removed from winning, Lord Stanley himself made a move to relieve head coach Bruce Cassidy of his duties on Sunday and replaced him with longtime Spitfire coach, Stanley Cup champion coach John Tortorella, with only 8 games left in the regular season, now down to 7 after last night's victory for Coach Tortorella. Now, after a bit of a struggle, and that has included a stretch of losing 3 in a row, and of course 6 of the past 7, entering today 3rd in the Pacific Division, 6 points behind first place Anaheim, but 4 ahead of the final divisional playoff spot in the Kings. So could go right, could go wrong for the Vegas Golden Knights here at this point of the season, but bringing in a new coach to hopefully get something going here in the twilight of the regular season. Now, with Coach Tortorella, who has a track record that has been well established from his time in the NHL, from Tampa Bay winning a Stanley Cup to, of course, his times in Vancouver, to his times in New York, and, of course, most recently in Columbus, in Philadelphia, now always joining back in the ranks. He's been on TV most recently with the TNT panel, but now being the bench boss for the Vegas Golden Knights. Like I said, just a few seasons removed from winning the Stanley Cup for the Vegas Golden Knights was Bruce Cassidy. Is it absurd or approved after picking up a win last night for Coach Tortorella? Is it will Torts get the Knights rolling into the playoffs with 7 games left in the regular season?
I think it's look, he knows what it takes. He's been in the playoffs before. He knows especially what they need to do specifically, and I feel like it's just he's still wanted by a lot of teams. Apparently, he's with the Rangers, the Blue Jackets. God, who am I missing? Probably some other teams as well, but. I feel like when you fire your coach, when did they fire him? Did you say when they fired him, Voldy? I can't remember. The Cassidy guy.
Are you talking Cassidy or Tortorella?
Cassidy, yeah.
So Cassidy, yes, they relieved him on Sunday. They played last night.
Wow.
And they picked up a win. So, yeah, day and a half in the office for Tortorella. At this point of the season, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, you're basically, it's pretty much season's over.
Creek,
but
yeah.
Exactly, but they're still in a pretty decent playoff spot. So yes, Cassidy was let go on Sunday. Tortorella, I'm pretty sure, was brought in on Monday.
Wow.
And they played a game last night and won. So there you go.
So we got that going. Well, and I think Torts was on the Olympic staff, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yes, I believe he was actually.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought I saw him on there. So, look, I feel like when you bring in a guy that has that experience and whatnot, I think he'll get them rolling, especially the players. They know what it takes. And, there's guys that have been on the squad for a long time now and have had success no matter what. So just adding a guy that's, kind of been in these playoffs before and knows what it takes, I feel like is the smart way to go. I'm not sure what that whole situation was with Cassidy, so... Yeah, it seemed to me they wanted to make that change, and they just kind of wanted, a little bit more seasoned guy with it, and they went with Torts. So I'll give it my stamp of approval, but I'm giving it a light stamp of approval because I don't know how quickly you can really preach a philosophy and kind of have these guys follow that throughout the rest of the season. So I feel like they might be at a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to this. But at the same time, too, I mean, these are professional athletes. They're guys that have kind of been there before. They know the game of hockey. I think Torts probably will implement some things, but not to the extent of a full, off season of stuff. It's not going to be a lot of info. So, I give it my stamp of approval. I think they'll fight, but I just feel like they're going to run into more seasoned playoff team, and they might have some trouble, especially if you don't have the right leadership. Not saying that it isn't the right leadership, because I think you got to have I think he's the right guy to do this for right now. So, yep, stamp of approval. Voldy, what do you got?
Yeah, I feel like just with you get Tortorella in there, he's a no-nonsense guy, and he definitely knows how to get the best out of his players, and a little bit more familiarity with the squad, I feel like, with Tortorella, with, of course, him being on the Olympic team and serving in that role with, guys that were there, Jack Eichel, Noah Hannafin as well, some big impact players for the Vegas Golden Knights. And, of course, he's no stranger to being hired mid-season or towards the back end of seasons as well. And he's been able to help turn teams around and, go on a nice run here for sure. It could be very interesting to see how Tortorella really meshes with this team overall. And, of course, the situation where they're in a playoff spot, but they drop one or two more games. They could be on the outside looking in, but they win one or two more games on top of it. They could be, sitting pretty well in a couple of spots. Of course, a tough Pacific Division and at least trying to tread water in that direction. I feel like Torts will definitely get the team rolling in the right direction heading the playoffs. It's got my stamp of approval for sure.
I would say so, too. I just think there's a lot to, especially at this point in the season. I mean, that's a crazy change that you make, right now. And it's just one of those things where it's a head scratcher, but, that is what it is. I do have some breaking news. If I can find the damn thing. There it is. It's not much, but the Twins have scored a run.
Hey, here we go.
They have 4 hits now. So hey, there's some positivity there, but they're down 5-1. So yeah, not great. So yeah, this might be a rough one for your Minnesota Twins, but bottom of the 5th. See how it goes. But figured I'd bring it up. With the breaking news. So, all right, next one, Voldy.
Well, we head to the world of the NFL and quite possibly a reunion of sorts as free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. wants to return to the New York Giants. And of course, he expressed his desire, of course, at the Fanatics flag football festivities or whatever the heck they called that in Los Angeles. Did put on a bit of a show there. The age 33 wide receiver, of course, could quite possibly link up with his former coach in John Harbaugh. Of course, that being in New York. Of course, Odell did spend about half a season or so in Baltimore for 2023, but of course, you have to look into, of course, just playing 9 games in the last 2 years, being suspended for 6 games in 2025, then going unsigned this past season as well. Still, that knee injury that held him back for a good portion since winning the Super Bowl with the Rams. Now, just trying to land a spot somewhere to be, of course, finish things off. But of course, more willing has seemed to be OBJ has been more willing to the Giants than to date. Of course, the Giants have made their intentions known by signing a few guys. Of course, they do have Malik Neighbors. They re-signed Isaiah Hodgins, but added Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin III to at least give a couple more weapons for, now coming into his second season, Jackson Dart at the quarterback position. Now, is it absurd or approved? Odell Beckham Jr. will play in the NFL this season with the Giants, but if it's absurd, who would he end up playing for if he does play?
That is a great question. And I feel like, God, this thing is so slow today. I feel like this whole Odell thing and the Giants, and I feel like we've been talking about it for years now. He's always been open to it, so it's not really a surprise if he were to go back to the Giants. Look, they different regime, different coaches, obviously different quarterback because Eli was there and whatnot. But, Odell's not going to be the guy that you would expect him to be, like the superstar making catches left and right. But he could be, a good mentor for Neighbors because they both went to LSU. Maybe help Jackson Dart a little bit. Like you said, there's some more weapons for this squad. And it's going to be a team that it has a question mark, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can put it all together with Harbaugh. Now, OBJ, you got to wonder when it's going to be time for him to kind of call it a career because he doesn't have anything left to really prove at this point. He's won a Super Bowl. He's built a pretty good career, but if he still wants to play and he's got a little bit left, then do it. But I will say, I feel like John Harbaugh at the owners' meetings was asked about it, and they didn't rule anything out. But of course, I think, but he said he'd love to have him and everything like that, and I feel like it's very possible at this point. If he doesn't rule it out, I think they're going to try to maybe work something out and get him to New York. And maybe you end your career there. I mean, that would be something that I think he'd want to do. So I will give it my stamp of approval. I just don't see a team right now that would take that risk of putting him on the squad. He was with Miami, and he didn't really do much of anything with with them. So there's a lot to that as well. So I don't know. I just feel like heading home, and that's not what you want to see. This is what you want to see. So good Lord. So anyway, I give it my stamp of approval. I think he'll go back with the Giants. I don't see another team just going out there and be like, oh, let's get OBJ, So stamp of approval. Voldy, what do you got?
Yeah, I feel like you had mentioned there, OBJ doesn't really have anything else left to prove, just given the fact he's won a Super Bowl. Of course, he's made his money too and just continues to, stay in shape and wait for that phone call. And I feel like this could be the perfect spot to put in that final chapter and at least ride off into the sunset, win, lose, or draw, to kind of be a mentor for the next, group of receivers there. Of course, with the Malik neighbors, of course, being LSU, having a pre-existing relationship with OBJ too. That could be the perfect can be the perfect marriage there too. Some familiarity with the coaching staff, of course, with Harbaugh and them linking up in Baltimore, and just kind of mentoring, of course, not only the young receiver but the young quarterback as well, and just have that opportunity to finish what he started there in New York for sure, and at least have that opportunity to finish off what he started there to at least close that chapter of his career there back where it all started. I think it's definitely got my stamp of approval. I certainly would like to see OBJ back in New York for sure. Just, get those good feelings back once again.
If it pleases this eCam, this new stuff here. I think it would be good. I think him and Harbaugh obviously get along, and I think Dart would have another weapon that would help this team. They need all the help they can get, trust me. So, all right, next one, Voldy.
We stay in the world of the NFL. It was announced to the ball clubs at the NFL's annual meeting that the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will be featured on this summer's season of Hard Knocks. But also in the summer of 2027, the New England Patriots will be featured on the season of Hard Knocks. So the next 2 seasons have been cleared and ready for, with the next 2 teams set up for Hard Knocks as well. Usually it's kind of a long waiting surprise of who's going to be on Hard Knocks. A whole lot of guessing, maybe a few here. Is it going to be another season of the Cowboys again? You usually get that about once every 2 or 3 seasons of Hard Knocks. But now both seasons, both teams have been named. Of course, the defending Super Bowl champions and the New England Patriots will be featured the next 2 years. Of course, a lot of things could happen from now until then. Of course, with the Seahawks, of course, they'll probably see a lot of positive things with, of course, training camp for them. And, of course, coming off a Super Bowl, what could really happen from this season till next year with the New England Patriots as well, with their young core. But usually teams that end up being on Hard Knocks don't exactly have the best track record going into the coming season as well. Of course, a lot of teams have maybe missed the playoffs, significant injuries, etc., etc. But is it absurd or approved? One, if not both of these teams will bypass the Hard Knocks curse into a successful season the following year.
Well, it's there. It's there. Like, the curse is definitely there for sure. Now, the question is whether or not it can be broken or not. Look, the Seahawks, they lost some guys this offseason. They lost Kenneth Walker. They lost Kobe Bryant. No, not the basketball player, but the guy named Kobe Bryant. He went to the Bears.
Yes.
But, they definitely lost some guys, so I feel like there's maybe some holes they need to fill in the draft and or even this offseason with free agency. So I think if you're Seattle, you're probably a little bit more prone. Now, you look at the Patriots, I think this team is heading in the right direction. The issue I think that they had was obviously the offensive line issues, and then wide receivers. They didn't really have that guy that you can really rely on being kind of that number one. You'd think you'd have that with Stephon Diggs, but it just didn't work out that way. And Stephon, isn't – it doesn't seem like he's the same guy that you saw in Minnesota or Buffalo. So I think they're still working on trying to get A.J. Brown to New England.
Lord, I hope so.
And they're really trying too. And at these owners' meetings, they're really pushing the narrative that Vrabel wants him in Foxborough. So I think if you're looking at this logically, I think the Pats are more equipped to passing or getting over that curse because they're heading this way. Where Seattle's like, oh, they're already at the top. Like, can they stay on the top or do they slide a little bit just because of Super Bowl hangover? We don't know. So I gotta say, I'll give the Pats. I think the Seahawks might be a little cursed, but they're still going to be a playoff team. I firmly believe that. Their defense is good enough. Still, they'll figure it out defensively. Offensively, again, this is still a question. Teams are going to be looking at this tape, and just ask the Eagles. I mean, good Lord. People have figured out their playbook really easily after they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle could fall victim to that too. So, not saying that they can't do it, but again, it's very hard to repeat the success that you had last year. So, I'll go with the Pats. I think the Seahawks are going to run into some teams that are going to want to, might figure them out here this offseason. So, I'll go with the Patriots, Voldy. So, what do you got?
I mean, you look at where Seattle is right now, obviously coming off a Super Bowl victory, and of course, where all the stars kind of aligned and everything came together at once. But the NFC West is a battlefield to say the least. Of course, you've got the Rams, who are a high powered offense with a good enough defense that has reloaded at some positions there defensively. And then you've got San Francisco, of course, with the number of injuries that they had. Oh, wait, these guys are coming back and they're going to be good. They even added Mike Evans, their offensive playbook as well. So that'll be fun to deal with in and out, week in and week out as well. That is definitely going to be a gauntlet for sure. I think between these two teams, I would definitely say the Patriots are probably going to be the ones that will bypass the Hard Knocks curse. Good young core that they've got right now. They've added a couple of guys through free agency. They brought in Kevin Byard that could definitely, of course, being a former Vrabel disciple down in Tennessee, of course, been a ball hawk to say the least on the defensive side, which could certainly use a lot more help that way too with their play, especially as we saw in the Super Bowl too, of just disrupting play movement as well for them. Could definitely be a good thing for them too. And again, like I said, young core, they're still developing, still getting things together. I think for sure that the Hard Knocks curse will definitely be, it'll be a battle for sure for Seattle this season. Next season, I think we'll be talking and looking forward to a good core here and at least another successful season for New England too. Even though you look at it, how it all played out, they'll be playing a much tougher schedule this season, of course, with them winning the division. They'll be playing a lot of first place teams from last season too.
Yeah, there's always that schedule too. So it's we'll see what the schedule reveal too, and things can happen, it can change and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, to say the least. Royals up 5-1 on the Twins, just FYI, top of the 6, 2 outs. So
lame.
That's what we got. All right, next one, Voldy.
Well, we head to the world. Of course, there'll be new inductees into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, class of 2026, which will include former WNBA MVPs and champions Candace Parker and Elena Delle Donne, along with the likes of Amari Stoudemire. And you can also throw in Hall of Fame inductees that will include, of course, Doc Rivers, and you'll, like I said, also with Amari Stoudemire to that class of 2026 with the Hall of Fame enshrinement to take place in August in Springfield, Massachusetts, the home of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Of course, numerous accolades and awards as well for all these inductees. Of course, Candace Parker, national champion, WNBA champion, winning titles with 3 different teams. First player in WNBA history to win a Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Was, of course, winning the dunk contest at the McDonald's All-American game in high school, which I do specifically remember watching as well. like I said, with 2 Olympic gold medals and so many other accolades that go on top of it. With this class of the Hall of Fame going in for 2026. Now, we've seen some memorable moments from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame inductions over the years. Of course, the likes of Dennis Rodman and his entrance as well. You throw in John Calipari and his numerous players that he's gotten into the NBA and also into the Hall of Fame as well. You had, like, a couple of years ago, you had Dwayne Wade bringing his dad on stage, and so many other moments that have sparked a lot of wide worth attention to the Basketball Hall of Fame. But of this class, who do you see having the most memorable speech for the class of 2026 for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame?
Well, there's a couple names on this list that I feel like are that might have some good ones. Now, Amari Stoudemire back in the day was a force of nature. Let me tell you that those teams in Phoenix were good when him and Steve Nash were together. I think they had Shaq at the time too.
Yep, they had Shaq for a hot second.
Yeah, he was there with the Suns as well. They were some good teams. I just feel like he never really got. He never really had a team that was, built to win a NBA Finals or anything like that. Now, he was a very, very good player for the Suns, and I remember watching, a lot of his games and how dominant he was down in the post, and especially, when you have Steve Nash and whatnot. So, a 14-year career. I remember he stopped in, Dallas and Miami, and then just kind of eventually decided to retire. But there are some people that aren't fans of this. But to be quite honest, there are guys that you're probably thinking like, okay, why would this guy be? Why would this guy? I think Amari deserves to be in there. He's had a great career. He had a great career with the Phoenix Suns. So I'm happy for that. He might have that, but I feel like Candace Parker is hard to ignore from this group because she has done a lot of just not only for the Sparks, and then I think she was with Chicago for a little bit, the Sky and whatnot. And, I think it was kind of bogus that the Lynx lost in, was it 2016 or something like that when they won that title? Yeah. Yes. I think they got screwed over on a call, which is very common here in Minnesota sports, but whatever. So I think she might have it. She's got the background with color, or not color commentator, but, being an analyst and whatnot, ESPN, TNT, whatever. So I think that's another one. Doc, well, the thing about Doc is you gotta really listen, or you're gonna hear him talk like this, and we just don't have the team, we don't have the players. No, just kidding. Doc is, I think he deserves it. And again, that 2008 Boston Celtics team was very good. I mean, you had KG, you had Paul Pierce, you had Ray Allen. That team was stacked, and he was able to bring all of them together and get it done. Lob City with Blake Griffin, CP3.
What could have been?
What could have been? They just could not get it done in the playoffs, to say the least. So, I'm going to go with Candace Parker. I'm going to go with Candace Parker with this. Amari, I think, will be a close second, but I think he's deserving for sure. So, give me Candace Parker and Amari. So, Voldy, what do you got?
Yeah, I could definitely see being more, out of these four that are going to be into the Hall of Fame. Candace Parker definitely has no problem letting her feelings be known and at least speaking up for sure. Just based off of, what we've seen and what she's done post-career, for sure. And of course, great playing career as well. Of course, she left the Sparks, went to her hometown team in Chicago, won them a title, and ultimately got another one with the Las Vegas Aces to cap off her career too. And it was great to see how that ended up going too. But I feel like just with everything that she's done post-career too, that kind of opens the door a little bit more to be a little bit more recognizable for sure. And I think her speech and of course what she'll say will definitely draw a lot more attention than compared to everybody else. Of course, Doc Rivers definitely has the coaching resume for sure for him. Of course, everything that he's done in his career, but he's a coach. Ultimately, he's going to give all the credit to his players and ultimately, of course, say thank you to all that. I feel like he's not going to be the guy to, put somebody in a bad light or do something that's going to, maybe affect a chance to keep coaching on top of it too. I definitely got Candace Parker for sure being the speech that's going to draw the most attention.
And not only that, but I feel like with Doc, when he went to the Clippers, just how dysfunctional that whole organization was, the Donald Sterling incident, with all that going down, him having to deal with that. So I think that kind of factored in too. But Doc still had a pretty solid team, though. He definitely was working with that. And then he was with the Bucks, and, he's coaching them. So he's been around. So, all right, last one, Voldy.
Well, we head to the world of golf, and stepping away from the world of golf will be the 15-time major champion Tiger Woods after a weekend that was definitely one to forget, as Tiger Woods was arrested on the suspicion of DUI and refusal to submit to a lawful test stemming from his rollover crash on Friday that took place, over the weekend in Florida. And he is quote as saying he's stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on his health. Stepping away from the world of golf, of course, after the launch of the TGL and the success that it has seen in most recent years, too. And, of course, just trying to get back into the good graces of those on the PGA Tour as well. Of course, after those multiple injuries that has stemmed from his career, and also, of course, the incidents that have happened off the course as well. Tiger was planning a major comeback after last competing on the PGA Tour back in July of 2024, where he missed the cut at the Open Championship. But he was looking to return to competition at the Masters this coming week, I should say too. But unfortunately, that will not be happening, as he is going to be stepping away from golf for a time. But is it absurd or approved? Will Tiger be able to rebound once again and make a comeback on the tour after this most recent departure from the game of golf?
Well, I don't want to. I feel like, we've had this conversation before. He's come back. He's done some. He came back and won. Was it 2019 he won the Masters and, proved a lot of people wrong that he, but there's something going on with Tiger Woods. I don't know what it is per se. I think it is drug related, to be quite honest with you. He claims that he was looking at his phone and or changing the channel on the radio, changing the radio dial. First of all, I think that's BS. I think he was probably taking stuff that he either got addicted to or whatever is going on. But the fact that he's had a history of doing this, either driving too fast, the incident with his wife and whatnot. Let's talk about this one specifically. If you're putting yourself and other people at risk, you shouldn't be driving. And Tiger has done this repeatedly. And I think for him taking time off is only going to help him in the long run. Mm-hmm. Now, as for his career, I think he's done. I think he can try and come back. I just don't think you're going to see that comeback that people were, hoping to expect. Look, he's 50 years old now, guys. This father time catches up, and granted, I'm not saying that, it's impossible, but at this point, it really isn't. He's not going to be the same as he was. The guy almost lost his leg from the previous crash that he had. So I don't see him coming back. I think it's absurd. I don't think and it depends on what if you're expecting him to win a major from this incident, I don't think you're going to see it. I don't think it's highly, I wouldn't say it's unlikely, or I wouldn't say it's impossible is what I'm saying. I don't think it's impossible that he can't do it, but I just can't see this ending the way that people would hope with Tiger Woods. Look,
Right.
Tiger, what does Tiger left have to prove? He really doesn't. He loves the game and whatnot. His son is doing fantastic as well. And, I think maybe he'd focus, with his son and whatnot, working with his game. So I think there's options that he has. If he wants to come back, he wants to prove people wrong, even myself, do it again, man. I mean, he without the injuries and everything like that, I believe he can do it. But this situation, not good. Not good for Tiger Woods right now. So I'm glad he's seeking treatment as he should at this point. So, Voldy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's unfortunate we had to get to this point with Tiger for him to seek treatment as well. But of course, things have, on the surface, or at least at, face value, have been going well for Tiger, of course, with the TGL and, of course, the production that's been happening there. He's been on a few things that at least have put himself in some good graces of some people. The stuff that he's had with his son on some of those, pro-am type things, or at least the, those events, too, have been nice to see for him to at least be able to still compete. But I've said it from the moment that, obviously the last incident that took place, that Tiger needs to get away from the tour. He doesn't have anything left to prove. The game is growing with or without him. These guys are driving the ball 400 or 500 yards. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau especially is hitting the snot off the thing too. And these guys are just getting better and better. And Tiger is getting lesser and lesser at this point. And Tiger needs to get off the main tour, and whatever there is that he can still do, he has to do it on the Champions Tour or the Senior Tour, whatever it is called nowadays. Of course, with all the veteran golfers that won,
There's a lot.
Masters, Open, U.S. Open Championship. I mean, needs to get on that tour. That way he can still be a big enough draw, but also at the same time could still be competitive and probably pick up some more wins along the way. He's not going to go in and win the Masters. He's not going to go in and win the Open Championship. But if he can compete with the Gary Players, the Angel Cabreras, the John Daly's of the world, on the Champions Tour or whatever,
VJ,
that
Singh.
should be, yeah, exactly. VJ Singh as well. All those guys too that are on the Champions Tour. He needs to make that his wheelhouse and just start racking them up one way or another for sure. The TGL has been good for it's been entertaining from the stuff that I've seen. Of course, the success that has
For a hot
happened
minute.
this past season. Yeah, for a hot minute. I mean, it's been great to see there. PGA, it's got to be in the rear view for him. And how can we how does he not have a driver? I just don't get it. Like, I understand. But I don't at the same time. He keeps just doing it to himself at this point. It's ridiculous.
You don't need to go fast either. And the previous time, he could have lost his life. Not just his leg, but his life, legitimately.
Yeah.
Look, it's gotten out of control. And I'm glad he's finding some help because, we don't want to see anything bad happen to one of the best golfers ever. I mean, I'm glad he's seeing it or seeking help and whatnot. And I just think focusing on your family and focusing on other things, and especially if you want to do the senior tour, dominate there.
Please. Absolutely.
So, yeah, we don't want to see anything bad happen to Tiger. So, anywho, great job with ARA this time around, Voldy. We got some special Shield shout-outs to get to, especially of what happened this past weekend. You know what I mean, if you know what I mean, and I know a lot of people know what I mean by saying that. And quick update, Twins down 6-1. Can't make it up.
Lame.
Can't make it up. That is all I can
Lame.
really say. So, All right, let's get it going. What's up? Shoutouts.
Shield shoutouts.
All right, it is time for some Shield shoutouts. So, Shield, who ya shout out tonight?
Well, we've been foreshadowing it pretty much all show, and judging by my attire as well, it was a banner weekend for yours, mine, and our Granite City Lumberjacks. Of course, we were talking as they opened up pool play at the Fraser Cup Championship Tournament on Wednesday this last week. Up 1-0 most of the contest, ended up losing to the Texas Brahmas 5-2. Bouncing back the following night, Granite City came back and just never looked back as they ended up beating the Long Beach Sharks 10-2 to close out pool play at 1-1. After a little bit of help on Friday night, Granite City got themselves into the semifinals on Saturday. Thank you to the Texas Brahmas. That semifinal game on Saturday was quite possibly the game of the season for Granite City as they ultimately took down their former divisional rival and, of course, longtime rival, the Rochester Grizzlies, by the score of 3-2 in overtime, clinching a spot in the championship game since the 2023 Fraser Cup Championship to take on the Louisiana Drillers. Now, the Drillers won the championship last year at the Fraser Cup National Tournament. They came into this matchup not losing a game in regulation all season. In fact, the last time they lost in regulation at all was the last year's rendition of pool play at the Fraser Cup National Tournament when they lost 2-0 to Granite City. Now, the contest against the Lumberjacks in the championship ultimately ended up being a win by the score of 4-0. Coming into that game, one of their players for Louisiana in 50-60 games, 150 points, and Granite City allowed none. The first championship for Granite City since 2023, the fifth Fraser Cup championship in franchise history, the first team in league history to reach 5 Fraser Cups, and that means another banner to be held in Granite City at the Miller Buick GMC Arena. A fantastic performance from the entire team all weekend long. And, of course, another great call from Joe Clements, who was on the call for that broadcast. A shutout victory for Nathan Mock in his debut season for Granite City. Congratulations to the 2005 birth dates that will be aging out of junior hockey, and wishing them nothing but the best and a great year, a great season, capped off with another championship. And I tried my best to get the trophy to come here for the show tonight. Maybe we'll try next week to see and try to get it, but I know that
we can try
having it
for
around for the live show, hopefully this next go around, this next fall. But congratulations to the Granite City Lumberjacks, the 5th Fraser Cup championship. And I cannot wait until next September when we raise another banner and get the rings as well, because that's always a fun time. So congrats to the Lumberjacks for another great season, and I'm more than proud to be part of the franchise as well. And sadly for Shield shoutouts here, we do have to end on a bit of a low note as well. Rest in peace to Vikings legend Joey Browner, as he sadly passed away over this weekend as well. I'm sure a lot of our forefathers, or at least our dads, probably maybe even our grandparents as well, will definitely remember the exploits of Joey Browner in his time in a Vikings uniform for sure. He will sadly be missed, as he was an impact player on the defensive side for the Vikings in his time back in the day. And that's going to do it for Shield shoutouts this week.
Yes, and the thing with Joey Browner is Papa Callahan didn't. I was over at my parents' place, and Papa Callahan didn't know about it, and he saw it, and he, it's very sad because he grew up watching Joey Browner, and he was one of dude was insane. I heard today too, when some people are talking about it on the Fan, that concussions, I think, were a part of some of these instances as well. I'm not sure with the health situation too, so it really sucks. to hear with that. But he's Ring of Honor, Pro Bowler, and whatnot. So condolences out. And how about those Jacks? Let's go! When I saw that, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, that live show next year, it's gonna look damn good. Let's go! So congratulations to the Granite City Lumberjacks, the whole staff, the whole organization, fans. Joe, you, Jimbo, DJ. Had some great interviews, by the way. I really enjoyed listening to DJ after some of those games too. So, we'll have to chat with him, hopefully on the live show as well. So, looking forward to doing that. And you guys know the deal. Keep an eye out. Final Fours this weekend. Make sure you check out, see how things go for your brackets. Some of you may be out, but you never know. I might choose you. Voldy might choose you, or someone else might just win. So I don't know. But just keep an eye out. It's going to be this weekend, and then obviously the National Championship is on a Monday, as usual. I don't know why they do that, but that's what they do. NCAA. Thanks, NCAA. Quick update to Twins down 8-1. Still the bottom of the sixth.
Yikes.
I don't need to say more because if I go that far, we won't ever end the show. So let's move on. And guys, if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna help out the guys. We're gonna get some merch. We got merch. We got plenty of merch. Look, I got the 5-year anniversary hat sitting right here. We still have a couple. I believe we still have a couple more of those bad boys. Yes, and we have some winter caps as well. If you want to get ready for, next winter or like right now, because apparently we're getting hit with more snow. We got those as well. We got stickers as well. We got the nice stickers. And don't forget, too, that we got the badass hats. Yes, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the Wild, the Minnesota Vikings. And we got the Twins and or the Patriots if you want to go that route. But yes, we have those. We've got plenty of hats for you guys. We got the Quarterzips. We got some sweatpants left. We've got just a smattering of things that you can check out. The OG hats as well. Almost forgot those. No, but make sure you check those out. But shouts out to National Fleet Graphic for the stickers, and shouts out to our guy, W2 Performance, Will Rattel, www.w2performance.com. Make sure you check out everything that he's got going on. He's always doing something, always got some content rolling, so make sure you check our guy out. Make sure you check out TLS Performance with our guy, Troy Stoudemire Jr. Yes, he's still doing his thing, and we're loving it. And he's still available, I think, if you wants to be back in the NFL. We'd love to see him as well. So make sure you check out latest Popcorn Bucket List with Nick Dahlhoff and Ryne, Myhrberg as well. Omni Entertainment, they've got content every week, reviews, movies. There's, I think, the new Super Mario movie is out, so they'll probably have some reviews on that, so make sure you check that out, too. But that's going to do it for episode 278. Yes, there's going to be more Twins banter, more Twins ads for that matter as well. And, playoffs will be starting up for the Wolves. We'll talk more Wolves as well. Wild, and the draft is coming up. Mikey is confirmed for draft 2026. It might have to be recorded, but we will make sure we get Mikey in on the mix as well. So a lot coming up. So with that being said, folks, you know the deal. Always keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.